Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Lush Life.
Hey everyone, I'm Michelle.
And this is Alfredo. We're sorry that we've been very MIA, but life came at me really fast. I switched jobs, moved to a new
hmm
city, got in a car accident. Some idiot rear-ended me when I was stopped at a red light. She just crashed into me. So, you know, a lot of things happened all at once, but we're getting back into our rhythm and our routine.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a little less busier in life than I was previously. So we're definitely hoping to get back on a regular cadence for you all. But thanks again for tuning in to this podcast of ours.
So last time we talked about jobs, resigning, quitting, moving on. So we wanted to do something a little bit lighter. And there's an article I read in the New York Times about 36 questions to ask on a first date. Kind of like a speed dating, get to know you, get to meet someone. And we think it's kind of funny but actually really good set of questions that really do
Mhm.
help you get to know somebody. Obviously, we're still friends. We've been friends for a while, so we probably know some of our answers, but we picked some of the fun ones or some of the serious ones. It's actually an interesting, it's actually like a psych-based set of questions, and they start off really light and then they get more intense with
hmm
the idea of you like building intimacy and getting to know the person that you're doing the questions with.
Yeah, so I think this will be a fun exercise for us to do. Do you want to tell everyone? Oh, you said where you got it from.
Yeah.
But do you want to tell them where the link was?
Oh, if you're interested in finding out about the questions, just Google 36 questions to fall in love. I don't know if you believe in love in first sight, but they're supposed to kind of provoke the intimacy and connection that you would feel with someone. So give it a try. I think they're really good questions, even just for networking or as icebreakers. Some of
hmm
them are really intense, but some of them are light and fun and good ways to get to know people. So we were going to ask each other some of them and both answer the questions.
Yeah. Do you want to start off?
Okay, let's start light. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Do you want to guess mine?
I think I know you. You learned how to drive recently, so it's not that. What about riding a bike? Since I know you
Yes,
don't
that
know how to ride
definitely
it.
would be. You do know me. That would definitely be the ability I would want to gain. I have started bike lessons, but then I turned my attention back to driving. So
And you drove on the highway for the first time, right?
by
By
myself,
yourself. Wow, okay.
I know. But yes, what is the ability you would want to gain?
Mine's practical too, I guess. I work in translation and interpreting, so if I could wake up and speak fluent Chinese, that would really be awesome because that would just open a lot of career opportunities. And it's so hard to learn it,
hmm
as a second language. So if I just woke up and was fluent in Chinese, that would be pretty awesome.
That would be a game changer, that's for sure.
And I feel like it's like so hard and like you could write it and read it and it's cool and just, there's like a billion people that speak it. So,
hmm
new people to talk to. We
That's
could do the
true.
podcast and we could reach a bigger audience. Well, you don't speak it, but
I don't, but I could try to learn too.
all right.
Um,
Next.
okay, I'll go next. This one is a is not very light.
Okay.
So, how close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's?
Yeah, that's not a light question.
No.
Um, do you want to go first? I don't know if I want to
Sure, I
answer.
did answer the question. I did ask it. To put it plainly, I would say no if I were just to answer the question. I do not think my childhood was happier than most others. I actually saw other people's childhoods being happier than mine. There were positive things though in my childhood. That I'll say.
Okay, I would say my family, I was raised by a single mom, so my family was not a traditional mom, dad, nuclear family, but my childhood was actually really happy,
Mhm.
just like with my grandma and my mom. And my family was close and warm, but now it's kind of just become dysfunctional and nobody talks. So there we go. So I guess we answer the question.
Well, we did answer the question. Do you want to go next?
All right. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life.
Mm, this one's a hard one. Not that I haven't had embarrassing moments, but just in thinking about
A specific
what
incident.
a specific, yeah.
Well, the way the question is worded, it makes it seem like this really serious embarrassing, not like an awkward moment, like a light
I've
thing.
definitely had a lot of awkward moments.
I have a good one, and
Okay.
Michelle knows this story too. So, my first weekend in my new apartment, I moved to new city, new job, new apartment. Um, it was nighttime, and my cat just ran out of the apartment, and I ran after him because I didn't want him to escape. And then the door shut behind me and locked me out. But the plot twist was that I was completely naked because I sleep naked. And so I was just in my hallway naked,
Oh my
holding the
goodness.
cat to cover up a certain area, as
Bits.
you can imagine, and calling security in my building to come give me the lockout key. So that was honestly, I
Now
was
they know who
embarrassed,
you are. It's your first weekend there and you're already unforgettable.
but I mean, it was embarrassing, but at the same time, it's really funny. Like the fact that
Yeah.
that happened. So, okay, what about your embarrassing moment?
Mine, I'm really trying to think about it. There's one from like middle school that I, this is really the one that comes to mind for me, but I'm trying to think of one that's more recent.
No, say the middle school one. It's your life, so.
So I don't really remember the circumstance around it, but I just remember that I was in some class and I really had to go pee. And the class was supposed to be like finishing and but the teacher kept going on and on and on and I was one of those kids who didn't want to interrupt her. And so I like was trying to raise my hand and she wasn't like picking on me because she just kept talking and I was like, "Oh my God." And I ended up, for lack of a better term, soiling myself in the class. But where I was sitting, nobody, I don't think anyone could tell. So she let the class out and I just sat there because I like was mortified and I couldn't believe what happened. And she walked over and was like, "Hey, me, why are you not leaving to go with the rest of the class?" And then I just like started crying and told her what happened. And she was like, "Oh, you should have just rushed out. Like, I'm sorry." And then, I didn't have a change of clothes, so they had to call my mom, and then she had to rush over, and it was a whole thing. So I was really embarrassed, and I don't know if anybody ever found out. I never had that conversation at all. This is like the first time I'm ever telling anyone, besides my mom.
We are all the podcast
So
listeners.
now, yeah, I guess everyone's gonna know. Um, yeah, I think that was in maybe fifth grade, fifth or sixth grade.
Okay, I feel like a lot, and when you're a kid, there's so many things. If I started to think about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's like the first one that came to mind for me. Wow, I haven't thought about that in a long time.
All right, next question.
Next question. Um, when was the last time you sang to yourself or to someone else? Or both?
Um, I sing a lot and I play music a lot,
Do you think
so
you're a good singer?
I can keep a tune. Like I
That's
sing in
good.
tune.
Were you ever in the
Uh,
chorus?
I think this morning I definitely was singing as I was getting ready to go to work. So I have the new SZA song is stuck in my head. So I feel like I was probably
Oh.
singing that. Um, and yeah, it's a good song. I'm just gonna promote her. I know she has enough money and fame,
Is
but
she paying you to say all this?
no, no, all these
Free
Gen Z people love
promotion
her,
on
right?
this
But
podcast.
yeah, because we're so popular. The paid promotion, right?
Wow.
And then I sang to somebody else. Um,
You
well,
did.
yeah, I guess I'm seeing
Was it your
somebody.
cat?
I'm
Oh,
seeing
wow.
somebody, so I
Is it
think
bad that I thought that you were that somebody was your cat?
I'm just that. Well, no, I have a man, so I'm not just that. I'm not like a
I
lone.
mean, I just wanted to clarify. I know that,
I'm not just
hang out with
another
your
cat
cat,
lady.
so
No, I think it's probably to him, like some.
oh, the last time I sang to myself was probably like 2 days ago. I like to sing and listen to music. So, I mean,
But well, to somebody else.
oh, to somebody else. I definitely sang to someone recently.
Okay, well,
Um, yeah, I sang.
all right. Last question. I think this is to me kind of heavy and serious as well, but it's a good one. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? That's a good one.
That is a good one. And what I w- there, I would say there are definitely a few things I would change, but the one thing that I would change that when looking back, I think would have made me a more prepared and better adult was really learning. I said like the bike thing earlier, it's really learning more practical life skills. I think for me, I was really into the books and academia and all of that and being in the lab that I didn't, there were certain things that I didn't learn that I wish I knew how to do. And now I'm trying to learn how to do them, which is fine. It's never too late. But I do wish that when I was being raised, I had learned some of those other skill sets as well. What about you?
That's a good one. For me, like I said, I grew up in a single parent, like my mom raised me by herself, and we didn't have a lot of money, being a single parent family, and she was kind of cheap, not necessarily cheap, but just like, oh, we can't afford this, or we can't get that, or we can't do this. And like for me, I've noticed that it's not, I don't know if I say a trauma, but it's definitely like affected me and my like spending and the way I view money, where it's like, okay, so I'm a working adult with like a good job. I can afford this, but then I'll be cheap with myself about things.
Mhm.
And that's something I think is related to my childhood, right? Like,
Yeah, I guess like a reaction to the way that you grew up. We all have them.
yeah.
I have,
Well,
yeah.
so that was just a few of those are just a few of the questions from the list of 36 questions. So if you want to look into it, it's 36 questions to fall in love
These
from the
were
New York
fun.
Times. It's
And
on
now our listeners
Cosmo.
know a little bit more intimate details about us.
Some embarrassing moments.
Embarrass- Oh my goodness.
No, but there are some good questions, and I do think they are good ways to get to know people, whether it be your friends or someone you might be seeing.
Yeah, I would encourage this is a fun, you could even make a game out of it, you know.
Yeah, it's a good icebreaker or like a networking icebreaker activity,
Mhm.
bringing
Not
things
some of
back
the
to
heavy
work.
ones though about your family, but
Yeah, I don't think you want to talk about that
don't
at
bring that
work.
to the workplace.
No,
That,
not
cut
like a
that out.
networking. All
Well,
right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening.
yes, thank you again. and we will see you in the next one.
And we'll be more on the ball about this, getting these out every week. All right,
Yes.
bye everybody.
Bye.